what I want to do for y'all is I want to show y'all the build that I've been playing on. I know I've uploaded a lot of YouTube shorts here lately, and I wanted to just kind of get the word out on this build. A lot of people have kind of figured out how to use these taller small forwards on dribble moves and good jump shots for them. So I figured what I would do is I would kind of bring that out a little bit more to the light and just show off the build. Because at the end of the day, the build didn't start as something serious. The build was supposed to be something that I just did for complete fun. It wasn't a build that I was gonna do to actually take 2K seriously with. But it's actually turned into my main build, and because of that, let's just jump into it. Let's get right into the build itself. This is again going to be a very all-around build. This is going to be more of a role player build. This isn't a superstar build. This isn't a build that's meant to do one thing super elite. There are no attributes on this build that are over an 88. The highest attribute on this build is going to be your 88 block. But again, you're going to be 6'10", you're going to have a lot of wingspan, you're going to be a pest on defense, especially once you get everything fully upgraded. I'll show y'all what I have upgraded right now, and then I'll get into the actual builder itself and show y'all how to recreate this exactly. That way y'all can see exactly how it's done. The big thing on this build that I want to emphasize is the all-around kind of jack of all trades role player that it's going to turn into. So right now I've got almost no finishing. That's been put heavily on the back burner. I wanted to upgrade my 3 first, then I wanted to get my block up, then my ball handle, then my physicals. I really wanted to get my badges so I could really experiment and see what kind of badges are going to be good. Again, not spending any money on the build, it makes it pretty difficult, you know? You don't really know what exactly you're going to get yourself into, what kind of badges are good, what kind of badges are kind of weak. You don't have any idea because you don't have a build that you can just go into and scrap it and start a new one if it ends up being a bad build. This build's super fun. It's good at a little bit of everything. It's a good shooter, able to space the floor. An 83-3 is all you need. You can get plenty of good jump shots with that. With the speed, the agility, the strength, and all that, you're going to get Hall of Fame physical handles. You're going to get gold high flying denier, which is one of the best defensive badges in the game right now, I feel like, especially for somebody like me who I enjoy having the highlight plays. You know, I like blocking shots. I don't like playing just solid straight up defense. That's not what I paid $70 for. I paid $70 to be an elite athlete, you know. Right now, the next focus is going to be obviously getting that interior defense up, getting the rebounding up, getting the pass accuracy up. That way I can really fulfill my role. The next step after that is to get this post control and this close shot that I keep going back and forth between. I want to be able to abuse mismatches. Playing in the rec, sometimes we take 2 centers in and then I'll end up playing the 3. I want to be able to abuse mismatches. This is where I'm super excited about the build because once I get this post control up, I get post fade phenom. As soon as I get the midi up as well, close shot's going to be giving me the ability to finish layups over smaller defenders, give me the ability to go to a post hook sometimes. It's just going to make the build more all around, you know, better offensively. The standing dunk's not crazy, you know. Most of the scoring isn't that crazy, but he's good for a highlight every now and then, especially with the way dunking is and paint defenses this year. There's a lot of people who just they'll get caught in a bad situation. They just can't do anything to stop you, even with a 73 dunk. So all right, so the big thing with this is you're gonna be a 6'10" power forward. 213 is the weight I was gonna go with. You can go to a 215. It does knock your speed down just a little bit. It gives you a little bit more D board, but the big thing here is gonna be the strength difference that you can go to. I'll explain why in just a little bit. But I went with 213 for the weight and 7 foot for the wingspan. So this is going to be the general way that the build is broken down. There's a couple of attributes that got messed up here from me just kind of demonstrating the differences in the weight that you can do for a little bit of extra strength. You're going to have an 82 close shot. This is going to give you, you know, bronze paint prodigy. This is going to give you silver float game, silver hook specialist with your post control. Again, the driving layup is just kind of a filler for the ball handle. 73 driving dunk, nothing crazy. It's enough to get bronze posterizer. 60 standing dunk. Again, not really going to take a whole lot of standing dunks, but enough to trigger an animation when I do get the opportunity. The first thing we're going to stop and talk about is going to be the post control. With an 87 post control, you're going to get this gold post fade phenom. Now, the reason I want this is for hunting mismatches. The reason I want to hunt mismatches is because once I get this build maxed out, you're going to have the ability to
hunt down a lot of these mismatches. It looks like it's the speed that I was actually messed up on. You're going to be able to hunt mismatches in the post. When we run two centers and I end up with a small forward, I want to be able to abuse those two guards who really don't have any interior defense. I want to be able to abuse them. I want to hit post fades on them. I want to back them down super quick with silver post powerhouse. I'm going to have an 84 strength. They're going to have like maybe a 60 if they made a big slashing guard, but they ain't going to have anything crazy. I'm going to move them out of the way. I'm going to be able to fake them out because they're not going to have any interior defense. They're not going to have post move lockdown. They're going to fall for every fake. All right, especially if they're just playing hands up defense and just praying like, oh, maybe I get a good contest animation. They're going to be faked out all over the place. I'm going to hit them with fake post spins and dream shakes, up and unders. Like it's going to be a fun build. I'm going to actively hunt for some of these post scoring clips because I really like post scoring this year. Ever since they fixed the close shot glitch and all that, good post scoring is rewarded quite a bit. You just got to be real good at hitting your post fade, and they patched out the Luka post fade like completely. On the note of the post scoring, that's why I went with an 80 mid range instead of just going for a couple of other attributes. I wanted to have the mid range. 80 is enough to hit some fadeaway shots, but mostly post fades, especially the closer you are to the basket. They're pretty easy to hit. This isn't something where I'm going to try and go, for cap breakers or sacrifice 3-point shot for it. Man, I wanted to have an 83 3-point shot. That way I can still get, I can still space the floor, especially from the 3-point line. Shooting's kind of difficult this year. I'm not the best at it, so I want to have as much rating into my 3-point shot as possible. I know a lot of people will probably go 75 3-pointer. That's an option. Let me just show you real quick what that does. If you go down to a 75 3-pointer and you bump it into mid-range, you can go up to an 85 on your mid-range. Probably get a couple of better animations as far as your jump shots. And you do go up to silver mid-range Deadeye. That's just just Deadeye in general. But that's not how I wanted to do it. I've got silver set shot specialist. I've got bronze limitless range. Again, it's nothing too crazy. The shooting is not the main highlight of this build. The free throw is just kind of because I can. Because I don't feel like dropping it down for one extra midi or a couple extra close shot. I just want to be able to hit my free throws when I get them. 87 pass accuracy. I want us to be able to share the ball around. This is going to give you gold break starter. That's kind of the biggest thing. Playing the big man position, you want to be able to start the fast breaks whenever you can. Gold dimer, again, you're just going to help your teammates. You're just going to be able to throw more accurate passes. They're not going to fumble with it. They're not going to catch it like outside of their shooting pocket. The whole side-to-side thing with the dynamic animations they have for catches, and your teammates ain't going to be pissed off at you for that. You're going to have a 77 ball handle. This is for when I do want to be selfish. Sometimes I want to go hunt for a clip. You're going to have silver unpluckable. That's more so from the post control. But you'll get a couple of small ankle breakers here and there. You'll have a little bit of extra stamina when you're dribbling the ball around. It's not something to where I'd go chasing cap breakers, even if I could, just because, again, it's not going to be that much of a difference from bronze to silver on this. The reason I'm going with 68 speed with ball is, again, there's no better dribble styles, and you can't, again, cap breaker up to lightning launch if you were to go up to a 70 speed with ball. Because this is the physical limit, right at 70 is the physical limit for what this build can get for speed with ball. There's no point in going up to a 70, in my opinion. I'm not there for it, I've only got a 70 interior defense. This is more so for paint patroller. Paint patroller is not something where I'm crazy worried about it. And again, the reason I didn't go any higher is I can't get to gold paint patroller without going to a 93 block. I'd have to put all 5 of my rep cap breakers on my block to get there. And that's just not the style I play. I'm not playing on one big and jumping from that big to a guard that's cutting. That's not where I'm coming from. I'm making crazy plays on when I'm blocking shots. I'm jumping from outside the paint to make an incredible recovery. Jaden McDaniels, Josh Okogie, guys like that. That's more so what my rim protection is. I did go max out the perimeter defense on this build for a 6'10". Again, with Silver Challenger, you're going to surprise a lot of popper builds, especially with having that 7-foot wingspan and being 6'10". A lot of the poppers, they're 6'7", 6'8". You're going to surprise a lot of people with your perimeter defense. You're going to have Silver Immovable Enforcer. Guys aren't just going to move you off of them. They just aren't. The only downside to this is because of the physical limitation, you can't get gold Immovable Enforcer. In hindsight, maybe I would mess with the build. I'd tweak it a little bit more to kind of get that gold Immovable Enforcer. But again, you really don't want to change the build name because that's kind of the entire reason I made the build. 73 steel, again, nothing crazy. You'll get silver interceptor, bronze glove. The block here is the other thing. You're going to get the best defensive badge in the game. All right, high flying denier. This is the best defensive badge in the game. And now that I've got the cat breaker from season 2, I'm going to get the cat breaker from season 3. I think what I'm going to do is I may go to +4 on my block and go up to +3 on my vertical between all the cat breakers and go and try and get Hall of Fame high flying denier base. Then I can put my badge +1 on this and get legend high flying denier. I think it's that good of a badge, and I want to see what the higher tiers do to it. There's no real way to test it, so I'm kind of going to be my own guinea pig on that. But I think that's where I'm going to put most of my cat breakers into. I want to see what this badge can do when you just go all in for it. I got to make sure I have the speed for it as well, so I'll do a little bit more labbing on that, but I think that's what I want to end up doing. That's where my cat breakers are going to go on this build. 80 offensive board, 70 defensive board. Between all of this, you're going to get silver box LB, silver rebound chaser, and silver pogo stick. Pogo stick, again, be very important, especially if you play like me, where you're jumping at everything. You're just going for highlight plays. I play very casual. Man, I'm not sweating. I'm not playing hands up defense. I'm trying to block every single shot, every single slasher that goes up against me. Man, I don't care if I get dunked on. I'm trying to go up and I'm trying to block his shot. I'm trying to meet him at the rim. You're gonna want the 80 speed, and you're gonna want the 75 agility. This is gonna give you silver pick dodger as well. This is just going to help you navigating through screens. You know, again, if I get stuck at the small forward position, I want to be able to perform well at the 3. But you're still going to surprise a lot of the poppers. If your center gets stuck on one of those 7-3s that have like an 80-something three-pointer, man, get him off of there, and you're going to be able to chase that dude around the perimeter. You're going to be able to get good contests. You're going to be able to move well, and you're going to have vertical. Vertical is a very underrated attribute in this game. Not even just for the rebounding animations you get, not even just for dunking, you know, stuff like that. The chase down blocks, yes, but contesting perimeter shots, your vertical matters. And the reason your vertical matters is, again, high flying denier plus your block rating plus your perimeter defense rating, you're going to get a lot of crazy contests that a lot of people in this game don't get. You're going to be able to hit triangle on defense on 3-point shooters, and you're not going to foul them necessarily unless you're just sprinting directly at them and jumping when you're already on top of them. This is going to really unlock you as a perimeter defender and just the flexibility. 80 vertical is pretty high in this game. A lot of people don't go to 80 vertical unless they're making a slasher. And when they're making a slasher, they're not really thinking about perimeter defense, and they're certainly not putting the block on it necessary to get the high flying denier. High flying denier helps on jump shot recoveries as well. I promise you, I will show clips of it. I get crazy jump contests when I'm jumping to corner shooters. They're never open. They're never wide open. I always get some kind of a contest off on it because, again, the vertical mixed with the speed, mixed with the block, mixed with the perimeter defense, that's what ties this whole build together. And again, having the 84 strength, like I was saying, for post powerhouse, if you wanted to, you could go up on the weight to 215 like I was talking about, and you can get 86 strength and you can go to gold post powerhouse, especially if it's a park build. I don't think it makes enough of a difference to justify it for me. Certainly not for my play style, and certainly not in the rec where you almost never have time to really like post score or back somebody down. You've got about one bump and you kind of got to make your scoring move. But you can do that if you really want to have a post scorer. I think 6'10 is a super solid height, especially now that we know how to use ball handle with a 6'10, and we've kind of found some animations and all that. To go with this, man, I think 6'10 is a nice all-around kind of just in between, just jack of all trades. Again, you can play however you want to. You've got enough attributes in darn near every category except finishing to just kind of play however. And you could tweak this build and make it a good finisher. You absolutely could. You could go down on some of this shooting here. Again, you could go down to a 75 three-pointer, and that all of a sudden unlocks a lot more for you to be able to go up to an 80 dunk and just give yourself some more flexibility for how you want to be able to play. This makes you a little bit more of a threat as a cutter. It's just not how I wanted to play, and again, like I said, I'm not good enough to operate with that low of a 3-point rating. But if you're good enough at the game, go for it, man. Try it out. Absolutely.